everyone, welcome to our channel where my dad and I play games, old and new, and give our thoughts on how they appeal to different generations.
Today we wanted to take a quick look at the demo for Metaphor ReFantazio, the newest mega RPG from Atlus. This is the newest twist on the tried and true formula, so we were very excited to see if this change-up paid off or if it would just fall flat.
As this is just the demo, we only know so much about the story. Louis, the head general, murders the king, creating a power vacuum. Flash to our main character, traveling to town with our friendly little fairy. We are on a mission to join the guard, find our contact, and assassinate Louis to break the curse on the prince. All of this comes to a head when the dead king's spirit rises up into the sky and announces that the people's will shall determine the next ruler. Even in just the first 4 hours, there are so many twists, revelations, little beats that drew me in. Why are some tribes thought of as lesser? Why is our tribe so rare? Where do these human monsters come from? The world and characters are so well fleshed out, I immediately became enthralled with them.
Our main character here is a big departure from most Atlus games, in that he's not silent. There's dialogue choices where someone will ask a question and you can say, yeah, and he'll say, yeah, we really should do that, or something to that effect. It's kind of like in Mass Effect where there's dialogue choice followed by more words. It's simple, but it does add a lot to the character to have him actually respond and have personality. Then there's Galika, our fairy guide. Most all recent Atlus games from Persona 3 to SMT5 have some form of a guide. These range from hyper annoying, like Morgana, to overly talkative but funny like the guides from SMT5, or just adorable like Fuka from Persona 3. So far, Galika is just the right blend. She's funny, adorable, helpful as a guide, but isn't constantly talking or forcing her way into scenes. It's early on, but so far, she is shaping up to be my favorite guide Atlus has given us.
With the side characters, so far we've encountered Stroll, Garius, and Hulkenberg. As the first party members you get, all three are great. Stroll is a disgraced noble, and you'd think he'd be a prissy brat, but he's not. He actually warms up to you very early on. The banter between him and our main character is really fun to see. He has a great backstory and is right now probably my favorite in the game. Garius is a former King's Guard that whisks the prince away to safety and is now working undercover in the guard with the plan of assassinating Louis when the time is right to break said curse. He's a grizzled old soldier that offers wisdom and stability to Stroll and our main character.
Then we have Hulkenberg, another former King's Guard, and she is absolutely beautifully designed, but also a total badass. Her brief moment of vulnerability when she awakens is awesome. I kind of didn't like how she lost all faith in herself briefly there for a bit, but in context, I guess it kind of makes sense. That said, I really love her design and I can't wait to see where her character goes from here.
Then there's our main villain, Louis. He's immediately hateable, but people are terrified of him or standing up to him because of his power. And at the same time, some are comfortable with him because they feel his power can protect them. It's a fine balance, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they build him up.
Gameplay-wise, the combat is a perfect blend of SMT, Persona 5, and, say, Final Fantasy V's job system. Combat is turn-based, and the menus feel closer to Persona 5, but the actual combat flows more like SMT, where hitting weak spot reduces your action count by 1/2 instead of by 1. Missing takes 2 points, etc. But the archetypes give you a massive power boost and extra abilities. Later on, you unlock the ability to inherit skills, so you can take your warrior and give him a healing spell, for example. It's limited, but it does provide some flexibility.
I'm really curious and excited to see what the advanced archetypes give you, especially as we get more into the synergies. Having multiple of the same archetypes or certain combinations will give you bonuses and or abilities. For example, having multiple warriors give those users a stacking attack buff, or special attacks that Atlus has shown us in promotional videos. This is a really fun mechanic that I'm excited to try out as we unlock more.
Outside of combat, you have the larger open zones. In town, you run around gathering intel, helping those you can, hopefully increasing your social stats, here called royal virtues, shopping, or just hanging around. In open zones, you can attack enemies outside of combat, one-shotting weaker monsters, and breaking some strong ones before you dive into squad-based combat, which makes this maybe my favorite combat system from any Atlus game. It's really snappy and engaging.
If you've seen anything from the game, you know the graphics are beautiful. Menus have a claymation-like look to the characters. Their movements, even little things like the main character waving his team to get moving when he starts to sprint, Gallica holding on for dear life while you're zipping around on the floating sword, only to screech to a halt mid-air when you stop, which is hilarious, by the way.
I agree, it looks great. I had originally feared the menus would be a bit too busy for me. As the snippets shown by Atlus, it looked like it had a lot going on. I'm mostly over that now. Sometimes there's a bit too much moving around on the screen, and even though it's little things, I did notice it. Also note that the bar highlighting what option you're on is always moving. I only noticed this in the menus, so it's not that big of a deal. In the game world, there's particles floating around thanks to Galika's magic. It was a bit much at first, but after a few minutes, I stopped noticing it at all. The art style, though, is absolutely beautiful, and I'm loving this medieval steampunky kind of vibe.
Musically, it's another banger soundtrack from Atlus. Hard percussions, bombastic choirs, supplemented by soft woodwinds. It's very old-worldly sounding, and I'm loving it.
Lastly, the voice acting is just top-notch so far. Good emotion driven into each word, the characters talk, act, and respond to each other in situations in rational manners. I haven't any concerns in this front, but so far, it's another really solid job by the voice acting crew. So going in, I knew I was going to be excited for this game, and so far the demo has absolutely validated that decision. Everything I wanted to see from this game, I saw in this demo, and I cannot wait for the 11th to get my hands on it. It's going to be another 90-hour adventure, and I am totally here for it. What are your thoughts, bud?
I really enjoyed the demo. One of the interesting things, though, is how they carried over the date and time management system from Persona, with fun dungeons that you can explore only during the day, some shops only open at night. I like how there's more stuff during the day that tires you out. I hope this keeps us more engaged as the game goes on. Also, there's something infinitely cool about riding around on an enchanted floating sword that we can ride like a skateboard. So those are our thoughts on Metaphor ReFantazio demo. Have you played it? If so, what are your thoughts? Are you excited as we are, or did this deflate your excitement? Comment below and let us know. And as always, please support us with a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks everyone!